What's up, guys? It's DJ. So Infinite Warfare releases tomorrow night, and I probably won't be able to sleep tonight just for that reason. Yeah, he's gonna get very mad at me. But besides that point, I was thinking to myself the other day, what are some things that I wish I would have known in the beginning of Black Ops 3? And I was like, wow, there's actually a lot. I remember moments of playing where I was like, wow, I wish I knew this beforehand. I would have been doing so much better. Like, there are a whole lot of things that I feel like I could have known in the beginning of the game's life cycle that would have improved my game in general. So, me doing all my research and being more in tune with Call of Duty and the tactics behind it and just logic in general, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 tips that you should know before Infinite Warfare releases. Okay, so some of these tips, if you guys have been watching my videos lately, will be kind of a bring back of the Infinite Warfare tips, beta tips that I gave. But this is going to expand to the full game, and there's some new things I wanted to talk about. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the first tip. First tip is save your salvage, okay? It's still a new game. We're still learning and figuring out what guns we like. They're also changing the guns ever since the beta. So save your salvage. This does a couple of things. One, it gives you time to really understand and know what guns you like in the game. You know, it takes a long time to be able to adjust to see what guns work with your playstyle, and it's better to save your salvage so that way when you do figure out what gun you like, you can go ahead and just spend it all on that epic variant, rather than, let's say you like the K-bar, right? Let's say you like the K-bar, you think you like the K-bar, and you spend 1,500 salvage on that, and then you realize later after you unlocking the Type 2, you're like, wow, I actually like the Type 2 a lot more than the K-bar. I wish I didn't spend my salvage on the K-bar. So what I'm saying is save up your salvage, don't spend anything yet, as tempting as it might be, and wait till you know what you like, because in Black Ops 3, I didn't like the Kuda at first, and then I fell in love with the Kuda later on during the game's life cycle once I got my hands on more guns. So that's the first tip. Save your salvage so that way you're not wasting it and you get better variants of the guns you like. Okay, for the second tip, you'd be surprised how many people don't do this, okay? So with Black Ops 3, you had headshot challenges in order to gain camos, right? Now what happens with new Call of Duty games is that everybody gets so excited, they just want to play, they want to use all the guns, and they completely forget about challenges to unlock camos, to unlock attachments. We don't know what the challenges yet for Infinite Warfare are going to be like exactly. They might be headshots, they might be specific challenges, we don't know. All I'm saying is be weary of what the challenges are. So for example, in the beginning of Black Ops 3 when I was playing, let's say I had a person that was AFK. I could have gotten a free headshot on them, and that would have counted towards my challenges, but instead I was actually just going ahead and killing them normally. So the second tip is use AFK players to your advantage and understand what the challenges of the game are before you truly get into the game, so that way when opportunities arise where you can get free kills, or let's use headshots for example. Let's say you're behind someone and you can shoot them, you aim for the head rather than aim for the body. You'll get your camos and challenges done a lot quicker. Okay, so for my third tip, we're actually going to be talking about the guns, and I'm going to be talking about this tip a little more in detail than the other tips. So in the beginning of Call of Duty games, usually when they first release, people tend to make a decision of what their favorite guns are really early on. In my case for Black Ops 3, I didn't truly understand what guns I liked until Dark Matter. That's because Dark Matter forced me to use all the guns. And people nowadays tend to make a decision of what guns they like basically off of their first game. They'll put a class on with that new gun, they'll play a game, and they're like, I don't like it, and they stop using it. Don't do that. Give the guns an honest go, because a lot of things can factor in whether you like a gun or not. We don't know in the beginning of the game what the stats are like. The gun might excel at range, and you might not even know that, and you might have been playing at a short range map, so the gun seems like crap. There are a lot of factors that can implement whether a gun is good or not. So until we get stats, until you truly experience the gun, wait to make a decision of whether you like a gun or not. And this does a couple of things for you. Let's say you do play with a lot of guns in the game, you tend to learn more about a lot of guns. So let's say you're using the Type 2 and you realize, okay, this is a really good mid-range gun. In the future, it'll help you in the game, because you'll be like, okay, that person has a Type 2, I'm at long range, and I have, let's say, an NV4, which is really good for long range. I can outgun this person. So take your time picking what guns you do like and don't like. Don't rush into making a decision, and use a lot of variety, and it'll help your game tremendously. Okay, so my fourth tip isn't really that big of a deal. It's just something you can decide to do, something you can be aware of when playing the game that I found helps me when I'm learning new maps. In a new Call of Duty game, the biggest thing that people complain about is not knowing the maps. They say they don't do well because they don't know the maps. And that's true. You can't know what the maps are like right away. But if you keep a mindset of, okay, I need to learn this map, and you kind of like study it as you play, I guarantee you'll learn it a lot quicker than the average person that's playing the game just for the experience. So rather than casually playing the game and learning it naturally, if you actually kind of like study it in your mind and make a mental note in your head that I need to learn these maps, I guarantee you'll learn it a little bit quicker. So it's not that big of a tip, but it's something that'll help your game out a little bit. So this last tip is kind of a given for all of you. And it is to watch YouTube videos. Really, DJ? That's what you're going to say for the last tip? Yeah, actually. In Black Ops 3, I didn't do too well in the beginning of Black Ops 3, but through YouTube videos and watching a lot of YouTube videos on my downtime, I learned a lot about the game, I learned a lot about the guns, I learned a lot about the maps, and that's helped my game overall. So in your downtime, if let's say you can't play the game or you're laying in bed, you're about to go to bed, look on YouTube, look and see if you can find any videos that might help your game out a little bit. Stay in tune with this channel. I plan to help you guys out a lot. And yeah, so those are my 5 tips. Hopefully you guys learned something from this today. And until next time, guys, have a good one.